book can change everything. Discover revelations that spark courage, ignite dreams, and remind you who you truly are. From timeless classics to bold new voices, find your next inspiration in every page of Dr. Segun Olugbemi's books, such as Lessons from 30 Years of Marriage. Marriage is much more than a social contract. It is an institution established by God himself. The man was never created to live in isolation, independent, alone, or all self-sufficient by himself. For two are better than one because they have a better reward for their labor. Red flags. Deception turns rulers into subjects and makes the wise foolish. It is the reason behind every failure, loss, pain, or regret. The life coach. The lessons we learn, responsibility of discovery is on you. Life that responds rather than initiates. An apt description of what today's church looks like. This book teaches you how to kill these lethargic and apathetic lives. Mercy Extended. The vision that has led to this timely exposition on the rising new Church of Jesus Christ is clearly detailed in this book. Occasion of the triumphant entry, all or not at all. Prophetic. The recipient of prophecy has prophecies are conditions. The master himself for his unique use. Online Bibles and fast Christianity. Many Christians, leaders inclusive, do not see the need to truly wait on God as in the days of Elijah. Obadiah Commission. There is a reason the word independence is not used in any translation of the Bible. One of the reasons is that God never meant for us to be independent of him or one another. We are to be dependent on God and interdependent on one another. Lessons from the Patriarchs, Volume 1 and 2. Every information in the Bible has a message for us. We sure can learn from the names, places, numbers, people, principles, and instructions therein. You can order all these books and more on Amazon or call +2 34805 116 6211.
Hello there, welcome to The Life Coach. I'm glad to know if you are a leader, that is, you are a husband, you are a wife, you are a mother, you are a father, you are an uncle, you are a CEO, you are a manager, you are a director, you are a pastor, you are a doctor. If you lead one or two persons, you probably find out that you have the same challenge. And when people ask me, what are your challenges in leadership, or what's your greatest leadership challenge? I've also come to one conclusion, that my greatest leadership challenge is leading me. And I thought I was, the only one that felt this way until I listened to John Maxwell. And he said every time they ask him what is his greatest leadership challenge, is leading him. That's just the same challenge I've had. Because I'm constantly under construction, and I think you are also. It's easier to tell people what to do. It's easier to advise people, give people, right? Because it takes humility. It doesn't take humility to give advice, to offer an advice, to offer your opinion. You can do it in arrogance, with pomposity. But it takes a lot of humility to receive an advice, to receive constructive criticism. Leading yourself is the most difficult thing you can do, because you have to go through the contradictions of life, accepting the fact that you told people to do A or B and C, and sometimes you don't even want to be told what to do yourself, and yet you find yourself doing it. You find yourself doing things you've told people not to do. You indulge yourself in habits or conduct you told others not to. You've told people don't break the traffic, don't do this, and then you get stressed up and under some pressures you have caved in. So leading yourself requires that you hold yourself accountable, make others hold you accountable, and constantly be ordered, take your own medicine, the medicine you serve others, and constantly remind yourself that you are not just living for yourself, you have to live for others, because you told others that's how to live. So leading yourself can be very difficult. So it makes you a construction site. It makes you a construction site that is constantly being worked. being worked upon. Now, in this part of the world, I know that, the government had to approve a budget, approve road construction and all that. And so, seldom do you see a lot going on in some states, in some places. People don't really see that. But in some other climes, they work around the year. During the winter, they have to continue to clear the roads. They have to continue to take away the snow and all that and spray the industrial salt to melt the road and all that. But during the summer, again, you just have to start fixing the road that were destroyed by the industrial salt. You have to start patching up and then, rebuilding the road. So there's construction goes on all through the year. New roads are opened up, new estate, new building areas and all that. So if you're inside your construction site, I'm one. You're probably one too. You're probably a construction site. A wise man once said, the road to success and maturity is always under construction. I think I saw this first. I read it somewhere, but I saw it. It was when I got to Frankfurt. If you travel through Frankfurt and you see how massive that airport is and see the technology, see everything, these guys have really worked there. But all of a sudden, I got back this time, and they took me through another side, and I found, new things were done, new construction things and renovation, new things were opening up. And I'm wondering, what are these guys looking for? And I saw a big banner, and I just stood there and I took the photograph. Said the road to construction, the road to success is constantly under construction. As I reflect on my life personally, I realize that although that I'm not yet what I want to be, I'm no longer where I used to be. I'm on the right path to daily growth and self-improvement. And there are things that have helped me. So if you're a construction site like me, if leading yourself, you know how you want people to wake up very early to pray, to do this, organize themselves, and you go to bed yourself, you don't feel like standing up. But you have to learn and continue to learn and relearn. You just want to be the best you can be, and you don't want to be a hypocrite anyway. You want to live by, the same, rules that you've given to others. You want to live. You don't want to act as if you're above the law when you say the laws. Well, here are some things that I'm doing that can help me, and I know can help you. You can do this and can help you. Number one, I've learned to ask a lot of questions. And I get an adage, one of African parlance says, those who ask questions hardly miss the road. The master once said, ask and you shall receive. Working by this principle has helped me to learn in life, has helped me to learn more and develop in different worldviews and perspectives on life. Life is vast. It's not just, it's not centered around you. Your worldview is not necessarily the only worldview. We all have different worldviews. You need to learn and see how other people see life. We're talking to somebody and then he said, well, how do you say there is God and you can't even prove it? And then he began to ask something and I said, well, that's your worldview, because your worldview says you have to. There must be empirical evidence, laboratory tested, proofs for you to believe. But I also have another worldview. Our worldview, where I come from, and maybe the Eastern worldview. If you say no, use the word no, it does not mean you go to a laboratory to check it out. It means you have experience of. So when the Bible says, and Adam knew his wife, it's not just shadow of God, a degree of knowledge. There is hearing, knowledge you acquire because you heard. There's knowledge you acquire because you read about. There's knowledge you acquire before you know. But when it comes to intimacy, it's called knowing. And they suddenly they get pregnant just because you know. So it couldn't be ordinary knowledge. It's not head knowledge, it's intimacy. So asking question gives you direction in life. When you ask the right question, it gives you direction. And listen to me, you need to ask the right question. If you don't get the question right, you will not get the answer right. If your question, for instance, if you say, how do I change the constitution of my country to allow me to do anything I like, you will never get the right answer. How do I change the constitution or to change the world's demand for passport to allow me to use my driver's license to travel around the world, you won't get the right answer. So if you don't get your question right, you will not get the answer right. The size of your question will also determine the size of your answer. How do I get $10,000 in the next 10 years or the next 5 years? I can tell you simple things to do. But how do I get $10,000 in the next 6 months, in the next 3 months? It's a different answer altogether. How do I get $10,000 in the next... Asking, I can ask a lot of questions. Think about this, you say this. Why did you think that way? Why do you think this is it? Have you thought about this? What happens if that happened? This one, how about this? By the time I'm done asking questions, I've got all my answers and I'm ready to go. You understand what I'm saying? Asking gives you better information. If you ask questions, it will help you to have new information that you never had all along. Asking reassures you that you're probably on the right path or something. Even if you know where you're going and you ask questions, when you get other people's perspective, it changes things. It introduces another dynamics. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? So number 2, seeking advice, counsel, input, correction, guidance, and new information is essential. If you really want to grow, to develop every day, to be a construction site that is being constantly working on the road, who take often are wiser than those who give it. It requires significant humility to patiently listen to others and follow their wise counsel rather than forcing your way through life. With the belief that you're always right, you always know what to do. I know what to do. I know. You never get to know it all. And this is what I see in people's communication. In communicating with people, in counseling, you're talking to somebody, then they cut in. And then you say, sorry, I'm not cutting you. What are you doing? That's what you just did. You're a master of the information you have, but you've not mastered what he's telling you. It's your wisdom to learn. It's your wisdom to just shut up while you're talking. Learning takes place in silence. Just learn to be silent. Number 3, choose a path that requires constant self-improvement. Humbling yourself and becoming more accountable. This is helping me every day. Today I've spoken to one of my pastors and I said, what do you see about so-and-so? And he says, it's all right. So I said, everything I say, you tend to agree with me that it's all right. I'm not comfortable with you. And he said, it's okay. I said, say something. Let me know your opinion. I said, okay, what do you think about this? I said, okay, tell me your opinion. I said, okay, can we adjust that? I said, okay, so you had that, but you told me it's all right. I said, if you continue like this, you're going to make me lead by psychophancy, which means you only tell me what I want to hear, not what I need to hear. I said, don't do that. Tell me what I need to hear, even if I don't like it, so that I can work on myself. I'm a construction site. I am under construction. I don't know all things. I won't know everything. I'm not bound to know everything at once. I'm growing. Cut me some slack. I'm growing. You need to be more accountable. Otherwise, you face the prospect of becoming like the old folklore, a dancing king in the village square, a naked king dancing in the village square, and no one is able to tell him. It's a scary proposition. Often our enemies tell us their relationship with us to tell us what they think of us. Most people just indulge you. They say, look, you are my friend. I don't want to hurt you. I'm always there. What are friends for? They really don't want to tell you. They don't tell you the truth. You remember that old folklore of the king that was dancing naked? Arrogant king, stubborn king, hard-headed king. And nobody could approach him. Nobody could advise him. Not even his elders. Not even his chiefs. Except, and the people complain of this king, everybody, and the medicine man, the local priest, the voodoo priest, and then said, we're going to teach him a lesson. This voodoo I'm going to do for you, the juju that once I put it on you, you are going to be naked before the people, but the people's eyes will be closed. That's the way you control them. That's the way the people will see that you are the most powerful king. He said, but how am I going to go naked? That's what this juju will cover you. I gave him something to appear like it, but on that festival day, The man came out naked. Everybody saw they were gape. And he thought they were all his power and all that. Everybody saw the king was naked. And nobody was able to say until the little child screamed, the king is dancing naked. As he was dancing, his majesty naked. Everybody saw it. Nobody was willing to talk to him. Do you realize that there are people in your life who may just be avoiding you for the sake of peace? They're not telling you the truth. Some of your siblings don't tell you the truth. Some of your friends are not telling you the truth. The ones that are willing to tell you the truth, they're trying to. People are looking at you, watching you dancing naked. They can't talk to you. My staff, they know. My pastors, my friends, they know. I beg them, staff, they know. My pastors, my friends, they know. I beg them, telling him, however you can add A, B, telling him, however you can add A, B, C, that means lack of money. And then he said, I want to thank you for always contributing to independence. It's interdependence. You will always need independence. It's interdependence. You will always need someone depending on others, yet we cannot be completely independent too. Everyone needs